accident or murder in Panama. What happened with the two missing Dutch? Two friends from the Netherlands, Kremers and Lisanne Froon, had just finished their undergraduate studies. They went to Panama in 2014 to learn Spanish and do volunteer work after saving money for a long time. As of 1 April 2014, Kris and Lisanne were going to the volcano, and the continent was divided via the Pianista Trail. The trip, approximately 4 kilometers in length, should have taken them about 4 hours to accomplish. They missed an appointment with a tourist guide the next day and never appeared again, raising suspicions. Lisanne's backpack was found on a riverbed 10 days after they went missing. The bag also included Lisanne's digital camera, full of pictures from their hiking trip. According to Forensic Tales, there were just 100 photos, 10 of which had been shot during the day on 1 April. Where did both friends disappear? Whether is it a murder or an accident? Welcome to Crime Lab, the place where you find the truth. Let's find the reality in today's true crime video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and never miss a true crime story again. Today, we'll examine the evidence and true crime behind the mysterious death of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon. Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers traveled from the Netherlands to Panama to celebrate Chrissy's high school graduation. 2 weeks after arriving in Panama, they landed in the city of Buckwheat, their final goal, on 29 March. As far as we know, the females were planning to help out at the local school and enhance their Spanish skills. Kris allegedly kept a personal journal. At about 10 a.m. on April 1, 2014, something happened. The two girls and their host family's dogs set out on a trip up the La Pianista route. The family's dog came home, but without the girls. The host family knew right away that there was a problem. As soon as the host family became concerned, they alerted the police. This information was not handled appropriately by the National Public Safety System, or CINIPROC as it is known in the region. They sat on it for 4 days before taking action. Local citizens and tour guides helped the family throughout this time period by conducting their own searches for the missing girls because the authorities were unwilling to take urgent action. Officials encountered a major stumbling hurdle when the search eventually got underway. When the girls left, they did not notify anyone about where they were heading, so the investigators had little to go on. Days went past with any news about the girls. On 9th June of that year, a woman found a backpack and brought it to the authorities, which sparked new hopes and gave more information to work with. Here on the Serpent riverbank, she claimed to have found it. The backpack was surprisingly dry and well packaged. 2 bras were found inside, a little water bottle and 2 sets of sunglasses, a camera, 2 mobile phones, a passport, and $83. They were Lisanne's possessions. The call logs and images on the phones and cameras of the suspects became the subject of an investigation by the police. As a result of what they discovered, they could begin putting the piece together. According to their claims, the girls took over 100 photos on their expedition. However, only about 10 of those photos were shot during the day. The remaining 90 photos were taken late into the night. A great deal of uncertainty surrounds the girls' final picture, which was supposedly taken 8 days after the beginning of the trip. 87 photos of the remaining 90 show nothing except blackness. Although the camera's position is unclear, it depicts a rock structure or a trail. Some say it's a photo of a trail going forward, while others say it could be a rising precipice. The timing of this picture is one of the biggest mysteries that I can't quite put my brain around. Consider this: the girls set out on their adventure on 1 April. At approximately 10 a.m. this picture, taken on 8 April, was taken by the girls. Due to the items in the backpack, the girls likely had very modest quantities of water with them at this moment in time. They would have been alive for at least 7 days, with no water to capture this photo, which is on the lower end of the spectrum. The ladies have spent most of their time in the forest searching for their way back to civilization, likely exhausted themselves in the process. I don't know how they accomplished it. Everybody asks, and nobody ever gets an answer. As soon as I saw this shot and learned of the time and date, my mind was blown. It isn't clear why this shot was taken, but one of the females does. All of the other black and white photographs were taken at the same time. To save battery life on their phones, they may have been illuminating the way ahead with the flash of the camera. The police could obtain the mobile devices' call records of the two girls. It was discovered that the two Dutch girls attempted to make their first phone call a few hours after their departure on April 1st. They called 911. This indicates that something went terribly wrong on the first day of the month of April. One mysterious point to mention here seems to be that after April 6th, multiple invalid attempts were made to access the iPhone's PIN, and police had identified that a positive PIN was not managed to enter. That truth is perplexing to me, but I have two hypotheses to explain here. Syncing to the photos, I wish to create a rapid point. Using the file names of the photographs, police discovered that they were indexed starting at 499. One of their initial images was 499, but they couldn't find image 509, which is a little weird. They found more than 100 photographs on the camera, but which one is missing? The image between the last daytime picture and the first evening serves as the perfect transition. Because of this, why else would the females be concerned about removing any images from their phones, especially in a circumstance like this? It would be the last thing on my mind if I ever did something like that. They could not recover it, and they concluded that it was not removed from the camera directly. Let's return to the PIN digits for a second. What if someone else was involved? There is a good chance that someone else lurked in these woods, stalking the girls and attempting to kill them. If this third party succeeds, they may be trying to erase material that is oddly linked to the lost photo 509. In the meantime, hold on to your questions because I'll have evidence to support my notions soon. Another hypothesis that I have now is that Kris was dead or unconscious when she left her smartphone with Lisanne, perhaps due to an injury or another natural reason. Lisanne made numerous guesses at the password in an attempt to utilize the flashlight or make further phone calls, which suggests she won't realize it. When she was unable to open the phone, she shut down the phone and never switched it back on. Contradictions and apparent gaps in police reports are on display here after locals found Lisanne's shorts upstream in the same location where the backpack was discovered. According to the official story, the shorts were discovered neatly placed on a rock, according to the official story. As for the guide who located them, they were located in a whirlpool on a river near the Monkey Bridge. Residents reported that they had located Kris's boot. It had her foot and a slice's pelvic part that looked sun-bleached. Bone pieces belonging to both girls were also uncovered, but 3 remained unidentified despite the pictures, shorts, and other evidence. The police discovered that Kris may have slid off a local monkey bridge and was probably unconscious or dead, but Lisanne had fled to seek help, and they had identified her. The shorts she was wearing could have chafed her, so she removed them and her backpack, which contained nothing of real use. To brighten up the path, she utilized her camera to capture the blackness. During the return journey, she was either weary or hurt and died. Resolved, right? This subject is a hot topic because of police mismanagement, to say the least. Further fingerprints were supposedly found on the backpack, but since they weren't trailing prints during the inquiry, they were of no use to the detectives. In addition, as previously stated, CINEPROC began the search mission 4 days after it was launched. As we all know, the very first 24 hours of any search and rescue operation are critical. In addition to that, there is one more factor. Do you recall the hypothesis that a third party was associated? Let us quickly gather proof to back this up. We have a lost image 509, which is a nice bridge between the last daytime picture and the first night picture in the series. We have such a dry, well-packed backpack that was recovered on a riverbank and bone parts that belonged to a third party. The backpack also has unknown fingerprints. Finally, both remains decayed and disintegrated in about 9 weeks between April and June when they were found. I'm not sure what's going on there. A girl named Catherine Johanna was viciously, brutally murdered while hiking in the same part of Panama only last year, and I believe this can be the case too. What about if the person responsible for Kris and Lisanne's mysterious enforced disappearance is the one who has already been named as a suspect in the case? There are many unanswered questions surrounding the untimely deaths of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, and I fervently hope that the case of the two will be solved at some point given to the families. There's a lot of talk about whether or not a third party is engaged. When it comes to the 10 days of misery, We may not ever know exactly what happened, but we can always conjecture with the data that we do have. For quite some time, I've been puzzled by the sudden disappearance of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon. If you have further thoughts about this mysterious incident, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel Crime Lab to watch true crime daily videos here.